The rain was coming down in sheets that evening, cold, relentless, and oddly comforting. I ducked under the awning of the hospital entrance, shaking the water from my jacket. My heart raced for reasons that had nothing to do with the weather. I hadn't stepped inside this place in almost 8 years. But every smell, every echoing footstep down the sterile hallways, brought it all rushing back, the pain, the fear, and her. 8 years ago, I nearly died here. Back then, I was just a 23-year-old kid, reckless, convinced that nothing could touch me. Until a car accident left me broken, both in body and spirit. My legs were crushed. My lungs were punctured. The doctors said I was lucky to even wake up. But luck had little to do with survival, it was someone's kindness that kept me alive. Her name was Sarah. Nurse Sarah. I didn't remember much from those early days, just fragments. The sound of her calm voice in the dark. The warmth of her hand as she told me, "You're going to walk again." When the pain became too much, she'd talk to me about life, about her little boy who loved to draw superheroes, about how she believed everyone deserved a second chance. I clung to her words like they were medicine. And then, one morning, she was gone. Just like that. I asked about her, but no one knew much. She'd transferred to another hospital, they said. I finished my recovery without her, learning to walk again with the help of others, but deep down, I never forgot her face. That's why I was back. Not as a patient this time, but as a visitor and invited guest speaker at the hospital's new patient recovery program. They wanted me to share my story of resilience. I agreed, but secretly, I was hoping for something else. Maybe, just maybe, I'd see her again. The auditorium lights dimmed as I took the stage. Rows of faces, patients, families, nurses, watched silently. My palms were sweating, but when I started talking, the words came easily. "I came here once," I began, my voice trembling slightly. "Not like this. I came in through those same doors on a stretcher, not sure if I'd ever leave again. But someone here changed my life. A nurse named Sarah." Murmurs rippled through the crowd. "She never treated me like I was broken," I continued. "She told me stories. She gave me hope when I didn't have any left. And when I wanted to give up, she said, 'You'll walk out of here stronger than before.' She was right." Applause filled the room. I smiled, blinking back tears. When the event ended, people came up to thank me, shake my hand, and tell me their own stories. But as the crowd thinned, I saw her standing near the exit, holding a folder to her chest. She looked older. A few strands of gray threaded through her hair, and there were faint lines around her eyes. But it was her. Nurse Sarah. For a moment, I couldn't move. Then she smiled, the same gentle, knowing smile I remembered. "I was hoping you'd recognize me," she said softly. "Sarah?" I whispered. I can't believe it's really you." She laughed lightly. "I wasn't sure you'd remember. You were in pretty bad shape back then." "I remember everything," I said. You were the reason I made it through." Her eyes glistened. She looked down for a second, then back up. "You were my favorite patient," she said quietly. "I wasn't supposed to say that, but you were. You reminded me why I became a nurse in the first place." We sat together in the hospital cafe for hours, talking like old friends. She told me that after I left, her son had gotten sick, leukemia. She'd spent 2 years in and out of hospitals, this time as the one sitting beside the bed instead of standing beside it. "I used to tell him about you," she said, her voice softening. "About how strong you were. How you never gave up, even when it looked impossible. Those stories gave him courage. He fought hard because of that." I swallowed the lump in my throat. "Is he?" "He's okay now," she said, smiling through tears. "He's 17. Wants to be a doctor." I exhaled in relief. For a while, we just sat in silence. The hum of machines, the distant chatter of nurses, it all felt oddly peaceful. "You know," she said after a pause, "life has a funny way of bringing people back when they're meant to meet again." I nodded. "Maybe it's not about chance. Maybe it's about unfinished gratitude. She smiled at that. Then I guess today we both finished something. Before I left, I walked down to the physical therapy ward, the same hallway where I'd learned to walk again. The same gray tiles, the same antiseptic smell. But this time, I wasn't leaning on crutches. I stood tall, steady. Sarah walked beside me, watching quietly. "See," she said, her voice trembling slightly. "I told you you'd walk again." I turned to her, emotion thick in my chest. "And you were right." We hugged tight, long, full of everything words couldn't say. When I finally stepped out into the rain again, it didn't feel cold anymore. It felt like something had come full circle, like I'd just closed one chapter and opened another. That night, I recorded a message for my channel, not about pain or recovery, but about gratitude. Sometimes, I said to the camera, the people who heal us don't just fix our bodies, they mend something deeper. And if you ever get the chance to thank them, don't wait 8 years. Do it now. I paused before ending the recording, my voice breaking slightly. Because you never know, you might just be their favorite patient too. Moral: kindness doesn't end with healing, it echoes. Sometimes across years, sometimes across lives. And when it comes back to you, it reminds you that no act of care is ever forgotten.